Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Namaste to all. Prostrating at the lotus feet of Brahmanishta, Shrotriya Sadguru, Swami Virajeshwara, Saraswati, and the entire Guru Parampara on behalf of all of us. Today's discourse on the Viveka Chudamani will continue. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shri Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashtakruto Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya Hari Om. Last time we had stopped at the shloka number 535, verse number 535 in the book, which I am following. From 536 onwards, today the discourse will continue. Acharya is explaining succinctly and very pertinently that greatest, the nature of a Jivan Mukta or the liberated Mahatman or the liberated soul, how he appears to the onlookers in the world full of ajnanis or mortals like us. So, with so many shlokas, he is explaining on and on to his qualified disciple. And now he continues about the Jivan Mukta, about the liberated Mahatman, how he lives and how he looks upon the things in this empirical world, which is totally a mithya as far as Jivan Mukta, liberated soul is concerned. Shudam dehavyathyam yaktva balak pridati vastuni tathaiva vidwan ramate nirmamo niraham sukhi. How a jnani lives and behaves. Shudam dehavyatham yaktva balak pridati vastuni tathaiva vidwan ramate nirmamo niraham sukhi. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು. ಉತ್ತಮೋತ್ತಮನಾದಂತಹ ಉತ್ತಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನನಾದ ಶಿಷ್ಯನೆದುರಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ಮಹಿಮೆಯನ್ನೇ ಹೊಗಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಮಗು ಬಾಲಕ ಆಟದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ವ್ಯಥೆ, ಹಸಿವು, ದೇಹದ ಶ್ರಮ, ಕ್ಲೇಶ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಮರೆತು ಆಟದಲ್ಲೇ ತಲ್ಲೀನನಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೋ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಮಮಕಾರಗಳಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಸದಾಕಾಲ ತನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ರಮಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. Now with an example, Acharya is explaining here. Shudam dehavyatam yatham tektva balha kridati vastuni. Just like a young boy, not even bothered about his hunger or the body, how he is so busy, concentrated himself in playing outside the home, he is not bothered whether he falls in Whether something happens to his body, some small irritation happens, whatever it is, he is least bothered. Just like that. Tathaiva vidwan ramate nirmamo niraham sukhi. In the same way, a Brahmajnani, without the sense of me and mine, without the sense of me and mine, without the sense of body, mind, ego complex, without the sense of mind complex. So by giving up ahankara and mamakara, the jnani always revels himself in his own Atman, and he is eternally happy all the time, all the time. That is how a jnani behaves actually. Next four charana shloka is there. Next one. Chinta shurnyamadainy bhaikshamam ashanam panam saridvarisho swatantriyena nirankusha sthitihi abhinidra smashane vane vastram kshalana shoshanadirahitam tikvastu shayyamahi sancharo nigamanta vithishu vidam krida pare brahmani. Keywords, the last line, fourth charana. Vidam krida pare brahmani. Now, in this fairly long fourth charana shloka, ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು? ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಚಿಂತೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ದೈನ್ಯತೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿರಾರಂಭವಾಗಿ ಭಿಕ್ಷಾಟನೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತವಾದಂತಹ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಅವರು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನದಿಯ ನೀರೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪಾವನವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ, ನಿರ್ಭಯರಾಗಿ, ಸರ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರರಾಗಿ, ನಿರಂಕುಶವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ನಾಚಿಕೆ ಅವಮಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಮಶಾನದಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಸರಿ, ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಸರಿ, ನಿರ್ಭಯವಾಗಿ ಮಲಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ದಿಕ್ಕುಗಳು, ನಾವೇನು ದಿಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ ದಿಕ್ಕುಗಳೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಸ್ತ್ರ, ನೆಲವೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂಥ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು ಯಾವ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿರ್ಯೋಚನೆಯಿಂದ ಅಗಾಧವಾದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನಂದ ರಸದಿಂದ ತೃಪ್ತರಾಗಿ ಸದಾ ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ, ಆತ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಇದ್ದು ಶರೀರ ಭಾವವನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಮರೆತು ವೇದಾಂತದ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ, ಉಪಮಾನ, ಅಲಂಕಾರ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ವೇದಾಂತದ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸದಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮದ ಆನಂದದ ತುತ್ತ ತುದಿಯ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನಂದದ ಸವಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಳುಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವತಃ ಅವರೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪರಾಗಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆತ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಆನಂದವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛಂದವಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿರ್ಯೋಚನೆಯಿಂದ ಸಂಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. So here in this shloka of the four line charana, the status and the nature of Brahmajnani, Acharya speaks. Chinta shunyam adainya bhaiksham ashanam panam saridvarisho swatantriyena nirankusha sthitihi abhinidra smashane vane vastram kshalana shoshanadirahitam tikvastu shayyamahi. So Acharya is explaining the magnificent, very interesting from the onlooker point of view, the way of life a jnani leads in this world, which is actually mithya. in this great delusion called empirical world, how a jnani lives. So he is not bothered feeding on whatever comes on his way by begging, or whoever, whatever gives, feeding on whatever comes from the alms without hesitation, without humiliation, without bothering, drinking wherever the water source is available without even bothering, either from the pond or the river or a small stream, whatever it is. Remaining all the time carefree, sarvatantra, swatantra, without any restraint, without any botheration, sleeping wherever he pleases, even in the, whether it's a cremation ground or a forest or a open or a desert or a dilapidated structure in a village or in a town, whatever it is. Wherever he pleases, he will sleep. And he is clad in the cloth which is either washed or unwashed. He is not bothered. He is not bothered whether he is dressed properly or undressed, sleeping on the ground, wandering the highways of the Vedanta, always immersed in his own Atma Bhava. So a Brahmajnani is least bothered about the what is called etiquettes of life, mannerisms of life, the basic mannerisms to maintain. We people, we have some built-in instinctive rules and regulations. None of us, you and me, none of us can break away from the regulation. Can you imagine that we just simply wander on the road without any cloth, or a soiled cloth, or a night dress wearing, or a pyjama wearing, or a loin cloth wearing, without shoes or slippers? Can you imagine? Or sometimes even naked. Can you imagine? Humanly impossible. Can you imagine that we eat anything, whatever is available, whether roadside food, junk food, whatever it is, whoever has prepared? We are cautious of our eating. We want clean food. We want hygienically pure food. Whichever water do you drink, you need purified water only, as far as possible. Piped water only, or mineral water in the bottle only. See, that is our life, because we are bound by these instinctive feelings. Because we have the Sharirabhiman. We care for our own body, we care for our health, we care for etiquettes. What people will think. Can I imagine myself going naked on the ground, on the road? Humanly impossible. The etiquette will not allow me at all. People will laugh at me. Is it not so? So a jnani is not bothered at all these points. That's what Acharya. Vimanam shariram Unnakta asheshan vishayanupasthitan Arechaya bhalavadatmavetta yo vyakta lingo ananushakta bhashyaha. Next shloka. Vimanam alambya shariram Bhunakti asheshan vishayanupasthitan Arechaya bhalavat atmavetta yah avyakta linga aranushakta bhakyaha. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ವರ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಬಾಹ್ಯದ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಚಿಹ್ನೆಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಪಂಚಿಕ ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟವನಾಗಿ ಅನನುಶಕ್ತ ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತ ಲಿಂಗ, ಅದರ ತಾನು ಇಂಥವನು ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಬಾಹ್ಯ ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾಪಂಚಿಕ ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟವನಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ಈ ಶರೀರ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಎಂಬ ವಿಮಾನವನ್ನ ಅವಲಂಬಿಸಿ ಇತರರ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯ ಅನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ತನಗೆ ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಒದಗುತ್ತದೆಯೋ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಗುವಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಾಲಕನ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಆಸೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ, ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಭೋಗಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ ಆಸೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದಂತಹ ಎದುರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಸಾಧನಗಳನ್ನ ಆತ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಬಾಲಕನ ಹಾಗೆ. So without any external marked features to show that he is a great personality, to show that he is a great sannyasi, or to show that he is a VIP, or to show that he belongs to an upper caste, or to show that he belongs to lower caste, whatever it is. So ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತಲಿಂಗಃ ಅನನುಶಕ್ತಬಾಹ್ಯಃ. ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತಲಿಂಗಃ keyword means he doesn't show off about himself. He is not bothered about, because there is no sharira abhiman. He is not bothered about how the body should look like, how the body should dress up, how the body should be presented to the world. He is not bothered to identify himself that he belongs to a particular type, particular varna, particular caste, whatever it is. He is least bothered. Avyaktalingaha ananushaktabhya. He is not bothered about the worldly things, worldly pleasures, sensory joys. He is particularly, personally, he is not bothered. So, without any attachment, without any marked features, a Brahmajnani will experience all the sensuous objects, Vishaya Sukha, through the body like a small child, since they come from by others. Since the others will provide him so many things, he will just experience and then he will enjoy them. Enjoy means he will not relish, because he is out of the body, attachment. He will just, like a child, whatever comes to him, provided by others, without identifying with them, he will simply accept it. Parechaya balavat atmavetta unaktaha asheshan vishayan upasthitan. Unaktaha asheshan vishayan upasthitan. Whatever comes to him, he will experience and he will accept it. That is the point. Because he is not attached. He is not attached either with the world or worldly pleasures or worldly objects or worldly things or the circumstances or the conditions. Whatever, in whichever way he is put up, whatever others will provide, whatever others will come and shower on us. Is least bothered at the point. Next shloka, our Gurudeva is very, very fond of this. Next shloka is the real landmark shloka. How beautifully Acharya explains in the next shloka about the nature of a Brahmajnani. Very landmark shloka. Digambaro vapi sambaro va vagambaro vapi chidambarastaha unmattavadvapi cha balavadva Pishachavadvapi charatyavanyam. Digambaro vapi sambaro va vagambaro vapi chidambarastaha unmattavadvapi cha balavadva Pishachavadvapi charati avanyam. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಅವಸ್ಥೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನ ಅರಿತವರು, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿರು, ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದರೆ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನು ಅರಿತು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವೇ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಅಂದರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಗಾತ್ಮನನ್ನ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ತಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪರಾಗಿ ದೇಹ ಅಭಿಮಾನವನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಮಮಕಾರವನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಮಾಯೆಯನ್ನ ಗೆದ್ದು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮವಿದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವರವರ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ, ಈ ಶರೀರದ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ್ಮುಕ್ತಿಯ ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣ ಆನಂದದ ರಸವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡುವವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಉಳಿದವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನಾ ವಿಧವಾಗಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮಹಾತ್ಮರು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದರು ಅಥವಾ ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನರು ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ವಿಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ವೇದಾಂತದ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಚರಿತ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ಒಂದೊಂದು ವಿಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಉನ್ಮತ್ತರಂತೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರು ಭ್ರಾಂತ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಗುವಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಾಲವತ್, ಉನ್ಮತ್ತವತ್, ಪಿಶಾಚವತ್. ಕೆಲವರು ಪಿಶಾಚಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ರೋಧದಿಂದ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಏನು ಹೇಳದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಉಪದೇಶವನ್ನೇ ಕೊಡದೆ ತಂಪಾಡಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರದವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉಪದೇಶ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಚಿದಂಬರಸ್ಥಃ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸದಾ ಚಿದಾಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಂತಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ಆತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಸದಾ ಆತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲೇ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಂತಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಚಿದಾಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವನು. ಅಂದರೆ ಚಿದಂಬರಸ್ಥನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವನು. ಆತ ದಿಗಂಬರನಾಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾದಂಥ ನಾರು ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಉಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದೇನೇ ಇರಲಿ, ಆತ ಉನ್ಮತ್ತನಂತೆ, ಬಾಲಕನಂತೆ, ಪಿಶಾಚಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವರು ಹಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರು ಹೀಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆ. ದಿಗಂಬರೋ ವಾಪಿ ಸಾಂಬರೋ ವಾ ತ್ವಗಂಬರೋ ವಾಪಿ ಚಿದಂಬರಸ್ಥಃ ಉನ್ಮತ್ತವದ್ವಾಪಿ ಚ ಬಾಲವತ್ವಾ ಪಿಶಾಚವತ್ವಾಪಿ ಚರತ್ಯವನ್ಯಾಂ. ಚರತಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅವನ್, ಚರತ್ಯವನ್ಯಾಂ. So how the Brahmavida, a jnani, lives and behaves in the world. Acharya is giving example. There are varieties depending on their level of enjoying the Brahmananda rasa in this particular gross body in which they are living. Brahmajnanis exhibit various patterns, various mysterious, mystical ways, how they appear to others. Their talks, their appearance, their behavior totally mesmerizes the onlookers. So mystic they are, so unexplainable the behavior of a jnani. So a jnani, a Brahmavida, a Brahmajnani always remains in that highest plane of Chit, Chidakash, Chidakash. Chidambaraha, Chidambarasthaha means always he is reveling in his own Brahmananda, Atmananda. He doesn't come down from that locus of Atmananda. All the time he is immersed in that Ananda, that bliss. So that unique Ananda, that unique bliss a Brahmajnani enjoys. So in the gradation of that intensity of enjoying the bliss, they differ in their appearance, in their behavior, in their talk, and how they appear to the others, normal people. To the normal people. So always they are the higher plane. So they wander in this earth, sometimes without any clothing, Digambara, naked. sometimes with some clothing. Digambaropi, Sambarova, Digambara totally naked, Sambara wearing some clothes. Tvagambaropi, Chidambarastaha, Tvagambara. Sometimes they may wear very ordinary, coarse cloth. Even sometimes they may wear a very short loin cloth. Or sometimes they remain Digambara, totally naked. So regarding the dress, regarding clothing the body, they are least bothered. They may be dressed, they may not be dressed. They are least bothered. So some are like this, some are like, and some may wear very fine clothes also, made up of very good quality, as the devotees and bhaktas, disciples come and give. Some are not even bothered. They may be happy with only a loin cloth on the body, like all the time you see Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi always used to be in the loin cloth, langot. Even in Mumbai, Ganeshapuri, that famous Avadhuta, Bhagavan Nityananda Swami, always used to wear a loin cloth, not any other clothes at all. That too, for the sake of the world, to maintain some etiquette, they used to wear the loin cloth. Otherwise, they are least bothered. They are least bothered about their own body. So that is the point Acharya is telling, how jnanis behave and look. Some may wear clothes, some may not even wear clothes. They may roam naked. To the extent they are least bothered what the others will think. You and me, we cannot even think like that. The recent examples in our Vedantic history in our countries, look at Sri Avadhuta Shikamani Sadashiva Brahmendra of Nerur, Tamil Nadu, around 200 years before. He was roaming on the banks of Kaveri, in and around the forests, delta, in the Kaveri delta, near Karur, Nerur and other places in the Pudukkottai region. All the time, sometimes, most of the time, he used to be naked. He was a naked fakir, wandering all the time. The great Mahatman, Trilinga Swami in Banaras, most of the time he used to be naked, sitting on the banks of the Ganga river. Sometimes wear a small cloth, a towel. So like that, jnanis, how they behave, is what Acharya says. So they may wear dress, they may wear a cloth, they may not even wear a cloth. So like a mad clap, like a mad fellow, like a child, madcap means unmatta, that is intoxicated. Babbling something, the eyes itself is so ferocious sometimes when you look at a person who is highly intoxicated, either by the drug or by the alcohol, see, his behavior is, you can make up. So a jnani may behave like that, highly intoxicated manner, inebriated manner. Unmatta means that he may become suddenly angry, babble out something. He may use choicest abuses to the people who come near him. He will drive them out of the fear. The people will run. Sometimes he may hit also. That is unmatta avastha. Balavat, sometimes like a child, he'll be giggling and laughing, sometimes keeping quiet, silent, sometimes talking, sometimes totally silent. Like a child, sometimes very innocent, very innocuous, smiling. All these characters. Pishachavat, like a ghost, howl sometimes. Some jnanis are like that. Here, pishacha, pishachavat. Pishacha word actually refers to the invisible spirit after the death of the jiva. with all the desires. Before entering into higher plane, is stuck on this its own mental ambitions and desires. So they remain in that state of Pishachavastha, invisible, with all the desires in that Sukshma Sharira. So Pishacha means what? They occupy the lonely places, dilapidated places, the houses, mansions outside the city, outside the village, where nobody is living, empty houses, empty mansions, or in the forest area. So when people start moving in those areas, they leave the place, go somewhere else. Usually they don't interact with humans. Rarely they. That's what the definition of the word Pishacha means. So Acharya says, some jnanis behave like Pishach, Pishachavat. Means like ghost. They want to remain aloof. They want to run away. They don't want people to be around them. When people gather too much, they leave the place. They leave. They need ekanta, solitude. They want to be always alone, themselves, reveling in themselves, remain alone. Not bothered about anything, not bothered about tomorrow, not bothered about money, not bothered about food. See, that is the state. Unmattavat Pishaj. That state. So some jnanis are like that. Either they behave, look like madcaps, like a child, like a ghost, living alone, avoiding contact, avoiding people, no upadesha, like that. So that's what Acharya is telling here in this sloka. How some jnanis behave. So there are different gradations in this sense only. All are Mahatmas. But due to the prarabdha of the physical body in which they are embedded or embodied in this birth, they differ in their behavior, they differ in their talks, they differ in their appearance, they differ in their movements. That is the point, Acharya. Not all jnanis are similar, not all jnanis are same way they behave. So that the differences are there. It's difficult to explain what are those differences. When people around Nerur 200 years back, the villagers, ladies and gents, they usually come to the Kaveri river basin for all their work, like bathing there, washing the clothes, carrying the water from the river for the household purpose. Occasionally they used to see this Sadashiva Brahmendra suddenly appearing in front of them, totally naked and walking without even bothering. No etiquette at all. He was not bothered. So villagers used to, feel very awkward to see a grown-up person totally naked, especially village ladies, when they are moving together to fetch water or to, wash the clothes in the Kaveri river. Suddenly, when they see a tall man, well-built man, totally naked, wondering what they will think. All had come to the conclusion that he is a madcap. Totally unmatta. He doesn't follow the basic rules and regulations of civilized life. He doesn't wear any clothes. So they were fed up. They knew that his guru is Parama Shivendra Saraswati. So all these villagers once went to the guru of Sri Sadashiva Brahmendra. These innocent people, hardworking people, villagers, they complained to the guru, Paramashivendra, look, your own disciple called Sadashiva Brahmendra suddenly walks around, sometimes without any clothing, like a unmatta, like an intoxicated fellow. He doesn't care for the manners. Totally naked he walks. What is this nonsense? Why don't you advise him to wear clothes and maintain decency at least. Then, listening to the villagers about his disciple, Sadashiva Brahmendra, the Guru, Paramashivendra, under he himself being a Brahmajnani, Paramashivendra Saraswati himself is a Brahmajnani, great Mahatman himself. He understood immediately a situation at what the higher seventh plane of Jnana Bhumika Sri Sadashiva Brahmendra has entered. He has become Brahmavid Varishtha. He has entered Avadhuta state, Puryaga state. The Sadguru immediately realized that his own disciple has entered into the highest seventh plane of Jnana Bhumika, that is Brahmavid Varishtha state. So, he is totally oblivious of anything in the world, least bothered about anything about his own body, totally detached. He felt so happy inside in his own mind, listening to the talks of the villagers. Then there is the famous shloka where the Guru, Sri Paramashivendra Saraswati, recites, tells the people. The Guru says, Unmattavat sancharatiha shishya lokasya vachamsi shunvan hidyan vachasya guruh puraho unmattata me nahita drishiti. Unmattata me nahita drishiti. That's what the Guru said. By listening the complaints of the villager, the Sadguru Paramashivendra says, so my disciple Sri Sadashiva Brahmendra is wandering in that highest state of Brahmavid Varishta state, Turiya state, without bothering. He has entered into the state of Unmani Avastha. He has become Unmatta, intoxicated so much, least bothered. Alas, being a Guru, I have not entered into that state yet. My disciple has already reached the seventh plane of Jnana Bhumika, whereas as a Guru, I have not reached that highest state of Jnana Bhumika, that is Brahmavid Varishta Sthiti. That is what the Sadashiva Brahmendra says. The Paramashivendra Saraswati tells about extolling the virtue of his own disciple to the villagers. Like that. Next, Acharya continues. Kamanni kamarupi sancharatyekacharo munihi swatmannaiva sada tushtaha swayam sarvatmana sthitaha. Kamanni kamarupi sancharatyekacharo munihi swatmannaiva sada tushtaha swayam sarvatmana sthitaha. ಸದಾ ಆತ್ಮಧ್ಯಾನದಲ್ಲಿ, ಆತ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ, ಆತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗಿ, ಸದಾ ಸಂತುಷ್ಟನಾಗಿ, ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಸರ್ವಾತ್ಮನಾದ ಆ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮುನಿ ಯಥೇಚ್ಛವಾಗಿ ಅನ್ನಶಾಲಿಯೂ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಾನೆ, ರೂಪಶಾಲಿಯೂ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಕಾಮಾನ್ನಿ ಕಾಮರೂಪಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆತನ ದೇಹದ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಎಂದೂ ಕೊರತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಕಾಲಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ತೃಪ್ತವಾಗಿ ಏನು ಒದಗಬೇಕು ಆತನಿಗೆ ಒದಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆತ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ತಾನೇ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಕಾಣುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಿಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಹಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಭುಂಜಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರು ಹಸಿವೆಯಿಂದ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ತಿಂದ್ರೆ ಈತನ ಹಸಿವು ತಾನಾಗಿ ನೀಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವ ಇದೆ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ. ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಕಾಮರೂಪಿ ಸಂಚರತಿ ಏಕಚರೋ ಮುನಿ. ಸದಾ ಆತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವನಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದರ ಪರಿವೆಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. The sage wanders all the time by himself, always in his own, immersed in Atma Bhava, apparently enjoying everything, whatever comes in his way. Neither he accepts really nor rejects nearly, because there is no attachment. That is why the word he simply enjoys everything means he accepts whatever comes in the way. So he is always, because ever satisfied, he is always filled with Brahmananda Rasa. He is filled with the nectar of bliss, nectar of superlative joy. So all the time he is ever satisfied. He will always revel in his own self. And he exists at everything, as everything, everywhere. Sarvatma Bhava Sthiti. He doesn't find any duality. He will see himself everywhere in every creature. That is the point. Kamanni kamarupihi sanchariti ekacharo munihi. Next 4-line shloka, Acharya continues about the jnani. Kvachin modho vidvan, kvachidapi maharaja vibhavaha, kvachit dhrantaha saumyaha, kvachit ajagarachara kalitaha, kvachit patribhotaha, kvachit avamataha kvapya vidita, charatyevam prajnaha satata paramananda sukhitaha. It's a fairly long shloka with 4 lines, 4 charanas. Kvachin modho vidvan, kvachidapi maharaja vibhavaha, kvachit dhanta saumyaha, kvachit ajagarachara kalitaha. First 2 lines. Kvachit modha vidvan, kvachit api maharaja vibhavaha, kvachit prantaha, kvachit saumyaha, kvachit ajagarachara kalitaha. Kvachit means sometimes. Kvachit means sometimes. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು? ಕ್ವಚಿತ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ವೇಳೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ? ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಚಿತ್ ಮೂಢನ ಹಾಗೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸನ ಹಾಗೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜನ ಹಾಗೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಾಂತನಂತೆ, ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವ ಹಾಗೆ, ಮರುಳದಂತೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಲಿರುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾನೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಚಿತ್ ಅಜಗರಾಚರ ಕಲಿತ, ಹೆಬ್ಬಾವಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಶ್ಚಲನಾಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಚಲನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ದೇಹದ ಅವಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿಂದ ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರೋದು. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ ಕೂತೇ ಇರೋದು, ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ಒಂದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋದು, ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಊಟದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಸ್ಥೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಸಿವು ಬಾಯಾರಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಗೆದ್ದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೆಬ್ಬಾವಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋದು ಉಂಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಮೂಢನ ಹಾಗೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸನ ಹಾಗೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಮಹಾರಾಜನ ವೈಭವದಿಂದ ಮೆರೆಯುವಂತೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಭ್ರಾಂತನಾಗಿರುವ ಹಾಗೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿರುವ ಹಾಗೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮೂಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋ ಹೆಬ್ಬಾವಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಮಹಾಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನೋಡಿ, ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ವಿವಿಧ ರೀತಿಗಳನ್ನು ವರ್ಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 2 lines, we'll take up what Acharya is explaining here. Kvachit moodaha, sometimes jnani behaves like a madcap, because he is always, reveling, enjoying himself in the bliss. So sometimes he behaves like a fool. Moodaha, kvachit vidwan, kvachitapi maharaja vibhavaha, kvachit bhrantaha saumyaha, kvachit ajagarachara chalitaha. So sometimes he behaves like a fool, sometimes as a learned person, Shastraveda. Suddenly he starts speaking the highest Vedanta. Sometimes he behaves like a royal king with all the regalia. His behavior is just like a behavior of an emperor, behavior of a royal king. Sometimes he behaves like a madman, a madcap. Sometimes he behaves like a holy, auspicious person, or sometimes he behaves like a totally docile, a person at one place sitting or sleeping or remaining silent, just like python. In the forest area, desert area, or in the Amazon jungle, the waters of South America. The anacondas, boas, and pythons, once they feed, they don't move at all. For months together, they remain in one place without any movement. They don't move at all here and there. So that is the nature of a python. Acharya is taking that example. Vachit ajagarachara talitaha. Ajagara means python. Like a python, he may remain silent at one place. So a jnani may stay in one place for a number of days without moving at all, without doing anything, without even saying anything, all the time remaining silent. Or sometimes he may say here small instructions, small upadesha. And one fine day he may vanish, he may disappear from the place. That is the point here, Acharya says. Kvachit patre bhotah, kvachit avamatah, kvapya avidata, jarat evam prajna, satata paramananda sukhitah. So, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ಪಾತ್ರನಾಗಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಮಹಾ ಉತ್ತಮೋತ್ತಮ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸನ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಜನಗಳಿಂದ ಅವಮಾನಗೊಂಡು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೂ ಹೇಳದೆ, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಯದಂತೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಗುಪ್ತವಾಗಿದ್ದು ತನ್ನ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ತಾನು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಪರಮಾನಂದ ಸುಖವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So sometimes a jnani may evoke respect by his behavior. He may give a finest upadesha to the deserving disciples, to the deserving devotees. Sometimes he may keep quiet. Sometimes he may not say anything. Sometimes he may behave like a fool, like a child. So when people insult him, when the people deride him, he is not bothered. Sometimes he may be derided, he may be insulted, he may be scolded by so many people around. He is least bothered. Sometimes that is why some of the jnanis remain unknown, anonymous. They don't want to be with the humanity at all. They want to be away from the world. They want to be away from worldly people. So the point here is how jnanis behave in a different way. Some will give advice, upadesha, impart the knowledge, jnana to the deserving disciples. But to the world, they keep aloof. They remain anonymous. They don't speak. Sometimes they may, out of compassion, out of satsankalpa, divine sankalpa, they may help out the poor people. They may help out the people in distress. So people call it as miracle. Why people flock towards a well-known Mahatman, thinking that their problems get solved automatically if the jnani looks at them, if he glances them, if his grace falls on them. All these things are there, possible. So that is why jnanis always behave in a different way. No two jnanis are alike. Every jnani is different from the onlooker point of view. How he looks, how he talks, where he sleeps, what he eats, whether he remains silent, whether he is a Shastraveta, or whether he is really uneducated from the worldly sense. All these possibilities are there. All these possibilities are nothing to do with this Atmajnana. Because it's well-known fact, even the highly illiterate person may become Atmajnana Sampanna. He may become a realized master. by the grace of God, by the grace of the Guru himself. So you cannot say these are the characters of a Mahajnani. They are unique. The nature of a Jnani really is undescribable by a common man, a onlooking person. To just give you one small example here about one of the four cardinal disciples of Adi Shankaracharya, Shankara Bhagavatpada. One, when Acharya was walking down with his set of people, disciples, on the west coast region of Karnataka, near Shivalli. There is a place now called the village. Shivalli is there, west coast, coastal, small village in the Karnataka state. Then the story was told repeatedly. I think the father Prabhakara Bhatta prostrates to Adi Shankaracharya with his 7 or 8-year-old son, who is supposedly born deaf and dumb. So the father Prabhakara Bhatta tells the Shankara Bhagavatpada, Acharya Shankara, that my son is born, he is deaf and mute, he doesn't speak, he remains all the time in the same place, he doesn't move, doesn't work. Only if you repeatedly prod him, he will do something. By repeated telling, some work he will do. Otherwise, he will keep quiet. Even if he is hungry, he will not ask for food. When the food is actually forcibly given, he will eat something. He will sleep somewhere. He will sit somewhere. All the time he is silent, not doing any work. Please help my boy. You shower your grace on this boy. He is our only son. That's how the Prabhakara Bhatta prostrates at the feet of Acharya Shankara and pleads with folded hands. Then with all the compassion, with all the divine love and mercy, bountiful mercy, Acharya glances, Kataksha Vikshana as it is called, Guru Kataksha Vikshana, glances at the boy. That boy, so far, deaf and dumb, born. Acharya asks him in simple Sanskritam, 1200 years before, who are you? What is your name? Who are your parents? These are the questions. Who are you? What is your name? Who are your parents? Then the boy, all the time from the birth, he appeared to be deaf and dumb. Suddenly, in the chaste Sanskritam language, the highest Vedantic, non-dual, Advaita, Paramarthic explanation he gives in the very first shloka itself. He suddenly starts blurting out in a chaste Sanskritam language 12 shlokas. The very first shloka that boy tells to Acharya Shankara is Naham Manushyam Nacha Deva Yakshau Na Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya Shudraha. The boy is answering to the question. The deaf and dumb boy is telling Acharya now for the question, who are you? What is your name? Who are your parents? For that question, the boy is answering. The very first shloka comes out from his mouth. ನೀನು ಯಾರಪ್ಪ, ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಸರೇನು, ನಿನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಆ 7 ವರ್ಷದ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಆರಭ್ಯ ಮೂಕನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಿವುಡನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬಾಲಕ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ? ನಾಹಂ ಮನುಷ್ಯಂ ನ ಚ ದೇವಯಕ್ಷೌ ನ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯ ವೈಶ್ಯ ಶೂದ್ರಾಃ ನ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಗೃಹೀ ವನಸ್ಥೋ ಭಿಕ್ಷುರ್ನ ಚಾಹಂ nijabodharupah Bhikshurna chaham nijabodharupah nacha bhikshuhu aham nijabodharupah aham nijabodharupah. There is the answer. So the boy says, Bhagavan, you are asking me who I am. You are asking my name. You are asking me who are my parents. Now listen to my answer. Listen to my answer. Neither I am a man, I belong to this species called man. Neither I am a man, nor I am a devata, nor I am a yaksha purusha, nor I am a brahmana, nor I am a kshatriya, nor I am a vaishya, nor I am a shudra. Neither I am a brahmachari, celibate, nor I am a householder, married person, nor even I am a vanaprasthi, living in the forest, nor even I am a sannyasi. So I am beyond all these things. I am beyond the varna, caste, beyond ashrama. Neither I am a brahmachari, nor grahastha, nor vanaprasthi, nor even sannyasi. Then I am aham nijabodh rupa. I am that supreme self. I am that eternal self. I am that Atma Swarupa one. Since you are asking, now I am telling. That is the answer the boy gave. And next set of shlokas he renders. Then Acharya was perplexed. He was so pleased. He turns to the father, Prabhakara Bhatta. Acharya Shankara tells the father, look, here is a boy whom you thought deaf and dumb, all the time sleeping, sitting in one place like a python, not even bothered to say, remaining silent, not even working, not even demanding food. So you thought he is a useless fellow, he is a mad fellow, he is a deaf and dumb fellow, unfit for any work. But look, the highest Advaita Vedanta Siddhanta is pouring out from his lips. The very first shloka, the very first verse says who he is. He has explained the highest absolute truth, Advaitic truth, in one single shloka itself. So, he is unfit to be with you people. He is a great Brahmajnani. He is a Brahmavid Varishtha. He is a Avadhuta himself. So, he cannot live with you people in the world. It is of no use for you with this such a great personality. You give him to me, I will take him with me. He has pronounced Advaitic Vedanta in such a lucid manner, like, the gooseberry fruit, which is clearly visible when you hold it in your palm. Hasta Malaka. Amalaka is gooseberry. Fruit. Nelika. Hasta. Hand. So, if you place the fruit in the hand, observe it so clearly visible. So, he is like that. So, Acharya names the boy as Astamalaka Acharya. Adi Shankaracharya names the boy there itself as Astamalaka Acharya, and he takes him as this ardent disciple. And those set of shlokas rendered by Hastamalaka Acharya, they are known as Hastamalaka Stotra themselves. So, 1200 years ago, he himself is a living example of Brahma with the Varishta Sthiti, that highest plane, seventh plane of Jnana Bhumika. Hastamalaka Acharya represents that state itself. So he always remained silent, no Upadesha. He did not write any Vartikas or Bhashyas. All the time he was silent, all the time roaming silently, and Acharya called him with him. So he started roaming with Acharya. So that Astamalaka Stotra, so famous, Acharya Shankara himself praised it. So the very first shloka I repeat again what Astamalaka Acharya said. When asked, "Who are you, my dear boy? What is your name? What are your parents?" For that he answers, Naham Manushyam Nacha Deva Yaksho Na Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya Shudra Na Brahmachari Grahi Vanastro Bhikshurna Chaham Nijabodha Rupaha Bhikshurna Chaham Nijabodha Rupaha. I am that highest supreme. With the Guru Sankalpa, today's discourse. We are stopping here at the shloka number 541. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya. Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwara.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Sir, I have one request. You spoke about the states of Avadhuta, and you have come across many such great men. If you can talk about any of them next time or in any of the following discourses, that would be really good. I know some of them you cannot talk about, but whoever you can talk about and
yeah,
kind of
noting
enlighten
down
us.
noting down the point, Avadut. Whichever, yeah,
what can be publicly shared.
Yeah, whatever comes to the mind. Yeah, I have noted down. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Dhanyavad, sir.